Today I have this true color variable ND filter from a company called 7 Artisans. I don't know if 7 Artisans and TT Artisans are the same company, but they're both out of China and they both kind of make budget gear, budget camera gear. They're pretty much budget stuff, you know, from China. But that doesn't mean it's not good. They make a lot of lenses that are pretty good, and especially of the last couple of years, I needed an ND filter and I want to buy the NiSi True Color, but it's just a little bit out of my budget right now. So I bought this one instead based on a review that I saw from Mark Weimels. Mark Weimels is his name. I watch him a lot. I've never said his last name before now that I think of it, but Mark has a camera channel as well that's a lot more popular than this one. And he tests a lot of budget lenses and a lot of other things. And he did one of the most extensive tests on ND filters that I think anybody's ever done. And he came to the conclusion that this one was one of the better, decent budget ones. He also came to the conclusion that this one, the KNF Concept, I think is what I have here, the K series, yeah, Concept K series, is not one of the good ones. Out of all the ones he tested, this seemed to do pretty badly, honestly. And it's one of the first ones I bought, and I don't like it either. It's got a lot of cross hatching where the most variable, I think all variable ND filters are just two polarizing lenses together. And when you twist them, you know, they just kind of mesh together like this. So you can see that a lot, and that's usually a tell of a pretty cheap one, is that you can see a lot of that cross hatching with this one. Wow, you can even see that when I turn it here. That's what lets you know that it's not that great. And it's not, of course, you don't want to use it when it's like that. Other than that though, this does feel pretty good. It's got good resistance when it turns and everything like that. But we're going to compare it to this one. He said this one looked pretty good, had less vignetting. He did have a couple more that he thought were better, but for the price, this one was definitely the clear standout. The NiSi was the one that I really want, but you know, it runs a couple $100, and if you want to get one that's not variable, that's just fixed ND filters, or even more, which is what I'd really like to get. I know a lot of people want the convenience of the variable, but I'm not really looking for that. I just want the best image that I can get. So we're not really going to compare it to the KNF. I just want to see what it looks like and if it even feels like something that anybody would want. Since the KNF is here and it's what I have, we will kind of look at that. KNF is a brand that's been around for a long time. They make a lot of camera stuff. Are they good or not? I don't know. I don't really buy their stuff. I bought that one based on another YouTube video I saw, but that was a long time ago, and I've noticed since then that a lot of the YouTube videos about ND filters really aren't based on anything. It's just what people prefer based on what they use. The one that Mark made was based on testing and science, which I totally trust that way, way more. I don't have the capabilities he does to test any of this stuff, so I'm just gonna refer you to his video. If you haven't seen it by some chance and you've seen this one, which would blow my mind if you have seen this video and not seen his, but if that's the case, head on over to Mark's channel and check out his test. It's amazing the trouble that this guy went through to test these ND filters, and that's how I came to know about this 7 Artisans one. Comes with a filter cap, you know, like a lens cap for it, which is something the KNF didn't come with, and I don't think a lot of them come with it. So that's pretty cool that it comes with a lens cap. I don't ever have a lens cap to put on mine when I have the KNF on there, which is rare that I do. Comes with a little booklet. It's got some Chinese writing on it. Let's see if it has any English in there. Yeah, it does. There's some English warranty cards, stuff like that in there. And then you've got the filter itself and this little card that says 7 Artisans on it, and it's got some Chinese writing on it, so I don't really know what that says. I wonder about 7 Artisans and TT Artisans, if they're the same company. I don't know. They could be. In China, a lot of times companies have very similar sounding names. They may not be. Here's the ND filter. This is how it comes, like this. I like this little thing that's on it. I don't know if a company started doing this because of the NiSi, because I see a lot of them now that have this, or if that's just something they all do. Feels pretty good turning. It's got a hard stop. Well, it has a hard stop, but you can push past it. I don't know how I feel about that. Because if you're pushing against it, it's definite. But if you're not pushing against it, it just kind of goes past it. I'm not really sure why you'd want to go past it. So I don't know why they just didn't make it a hard stop. Here's a perfect camera to try it on. Right here. All right, I thought I'd take it outside so we could see what we can see with this ND filter and see if it's any good or not. I've got an RS4 gimbal with my S1 Mark II on it, and I'm using the 24mm Lumix 1.8 lens and the 7 Artisans new ND filter on here. And I'm impressed. It doesn't look bad at all. I don't see any weird colors or anything like that. It's definitely doing what it's supposed to do. It's keeping it from clipping the highlights, and the shadows still look good. The color looks even. This is the way I would expect this shot to look if exposure was correct without the ND filter. It really does seem like it's pretty true to the color, and obviously I like that. That's what I want. Turn the camera around and look out there and see that blue car is my wife. She's waiting on me. And the Lumix cameras let you shoot with a LUT, like real time, that you can burn in. And I do that a lot because I post a lot on social media, and I'm doing it for YouTube, and I'm trying to get the quickest workflow that I can. And I really like it. It's a pretty cool feature. I'm using the Lumix Lab Classic Teal and Orange from Matthew Dangu. That's on there. I think he made this LUT, and I use it a lot, and I really like it. You know, teal and orange is kind of cliche for YouTubers, but it works. That's why it looks really good. And as you can see over there where the sun is hitting that building, it looks really good. The shadows look good, and all the colors look like I would expect them to look with this LUT. I didn't do any color grading at all. I literally put it into Final Cut Pro and just hit the magic wand. That was it. Nothing else. So what you see is pretty much what you get. The car is really dirty, and it makes it look really nice, which is really cool. I did notice some vignetting when I was out there, just a little bit, but when I color graded it, I don't see it as bad now. It may be there a little bit, but you know, I actually like it, but I don't see it. Let's go back to the studio and run a few more tests. I'm gonna turn up the lights in here quite a bit. If you still can't see me, then it's doing pretty good at blocking out the light, because it is bright in here, people. I'm gonna turn up the ISO on this camera. We are now at 20,000 ISO. All right, so that is the hard stop of 9, and this will be 6. Right there, 6. That's 20,000 ISO. This is 8,000, 6,400. I'm getting some zebra stripes on my shirt, but my face is underexposed. Yep, I have 2 bright studio lights pointed at me, and 1 overhead, and a overhead desk light. So it is really bright in here. And right now the ISO is at 10,000. Looks pretty good though. I don't see anything in the corners, at least on the monitor. So I don't see any vignetting. That's usually a big problem with these. I have to say, I don't see the same cross hatching. I guess it's called cross hatching, whatever it's called, where the 2 lenses hit each other. I don't see it on this one like I did the other one. And I'm pretty happy with the way the colors look in comparison to how it looked without the ND filter on here. Yeah, I like it. I'm already more impressed with it than I was the KNF. I'll let you guys see the KNF too. Like I said, this isn't really a comparison, but I guess if I put it on there, it kind of is, right? I would not buy the KNF filter. That's just me. You guys do whatever you want, but I would not buy it. It's just not a good filter. Feels good, looks good, doesn't work good. Sorry. All right, here we go. Whoa, that's bright, right? Almost look white. Got that light turned up in here. And here's the KNF. This is the KNF Concept Nano K series. It looks okay too. I don't like it as much though. You can see that. Look when I turn it. See my forehead right there? Look. See how it changes? And I'm not adjusting the lens. I'm just turning it onto the lens. So that lets you know that there's places in the lens that is different. Let's see if the other one does that real quick. So that's just, I'm not like twisting it and adjusting it. I'm just turning it onto the lens and it's doing that. Let's see if this one does that. This is 4,000 ISO. And we've got this filter at 6. Keep in mind the 7 Artisans is a 6 to 9 filter, and the KNF I believe is a 2 to 9, which is one of the reasons why it's a little worse with that cross hatching. But see, look here. All right, we're at 6. I'm gonna turn up the ISO a little bit more so we can see my forehead, my shiny ass forehead. And let's see if we see anything change as I turn this on. So we do. It does change a little bit as we turn it on. So I guess it's not just a KNF. Yeah, see, as I turn it up, I don't know what that means, but to me it means that it's got variances in the glass. Since I'm not actually adjusting the filter, I'm just twisting it onto the lens. You see, I'm losing that glare that's right here as I turn it onto the lens, and then it comes back. This one's not as bad as a KNF, and it doesn't look as bad. Now I'm adjusting the filter, so still at 6. I adjusted it because I accidentally moved it off of 6, and then we're turning it down. So that's from those polarizing filters, I'm sure. This one did it less, the 7 Artisans, than this one did, but both did do it. And in my mind, and I may be totally wrong because I don't know everything or, even know much about this, but that tells me that there's some differences in each part of the lens. And I think that's a pretty good hypothesis, right? This one seems to have a little less, but it's still there. I do like the color on this one better than the KNF, though. It seems to give us complete darkness when I turn it. Not that the other one didn't, but I could see some cross hairs. I will say that the 7 Artisans doesn't feel as good when I change the stops on the filter. This one has a lot of resistance that feels really premium. It's almost hard to turn, and that feels nice, like this is expensive. This one turns really easily and freely, which is okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It just doesn't have that feel. And I don't know what it is about that resistance feel, and I think you guys know what I'm talking about. It just feels more expensive. I'm paying for the way it looks, not the way it feels. I like this one better. I like the way the KNF feels, but this one looks better, which is more important to me. Let me know what you think in the comments. Which one do you like better? This is the KNF Concept Nano K Series Variable ND 2 to 400. It's a 72mm version. And this is the 67mm version, and it's 6 to 9 stops. So they're not quite the same. The 7 Artisans came with a lens cap and a little case. The Nano series came in a case similar to the 7 Artisans, and that's it. It didn't come with a lens cap, but it did come with some cleaning cloths. Quite a few of them came with like 3, and they were all pre-packaged and sealed, sterile. And the 7 Artisans came with no cleaning cloths at all. Not even one to clean it with. So there you have it. Peace.